resistance? Where is the resistance? Why is there resistance to your efforts to audit the Federal Reserve when the reasons to do so would seem phenomenally obvious?
I think the resistance comes from whose interests are being challenged. So those who are involved in the Federal Reserve System, they don't want to be challenged.
So who is that? Is that Goldman Sachs?
Well,
is that the previous treasurer?
Well,
who is that?
The immediate Federal Reserve Board, as well as all the banks that belong, especially the big banks, and that would include people like Goldman Sachs and all the big banks, because you know the Federal Reserve works in collusion with big banks because money is created not only by the Federal Reserve, but it's created by fractional reserve banking.
Sure.
And for that reason, you know, it's an empire that they have. But those people who benefit by the system, and there's a lot of benefit, deficit financing by Congress benefits, and
sure.
Yet they're getting to the point now where they do need to look in, because they're starting to realize that the Federal Reserve is a government unto itself. Just think, you've mentioned already that there are trillions of dollars involved, and they're not appropriated. So it's an entirely unconstitutional process of bailing out people off budget.
It's not a democracy.
It's an outrage.
It makes me laugh. We're dealing with a situation where the banking infrastructure and the politicians who are bought and paid for by the banking infrastructure is trying to protect the secrecy of the Federal Reserve, because the Federal Reserve right now is hiding the secrets of the American banking system. Is that a fair? Is that fair?
That is absolutely correct, and they say they want anybody looking at anything they do under the FOMC.
So here's the question. Because I think the American people are with you on this one. I think that it's obvious that the Federal Reserve has failed the American people. I think the American people understand what $1 trillion is, and what, let alone $10 trillion is. They also understand what it means to risk. If I take your money to Vegas and blow it all, and then pay myself the winnings and stick you with the losses, which is what the banks did to the American people. What can the American people do for you to help you get an audit of the Federal Reserve for all of us?
Well, continue to do what they've been doing. I mean, we have 275 co-sponsors in the House, and I didn't do that by myself. American people have awoken, and they have called their congressmen. Now they're calling their senators. We're up to 19 senators, and we have to continue to do this. And something will have to be done. They're going to fight us tooth and nails. And if you notice, yesterday they came out pretty hard against me in the Wall Street Journal, because they don't want to have any part of this audit. So they're trying to discredit us, and the argument now is that if we have transparency, we'll cause the interest rates to go up. And that's the reason. Don't do that, because we want the right to lower interest rates or raise interest rates without any political influence, as if presidents don't have political influence, as if these companies that benefit, as if they are not considered a political influence on the Fed. It doesn't take over monetary policy. And this opens up the books. Monetary policy would still be done the same way, but we would have a right to know what they did and why and for whom. Yeah,
and no, it's almost crazy that we don't have that when you consider the amount of authority they have to move trillions of dollars around. Congressman, thank you.